Hello and welcome back to Faeryfay's knitting podcast. I'm Faye, known as Faeryfay on Instagram and YouTube, and Fayknits3 on Ravelry, the numeral 3. Welcome back to any viewers who have watched before, and hello to new viewers. Okay, might get started then. It's a really wet, rainy, cold day here on the eastern coast of Australia today in Canberra. So the lighting's not great, but we'll muddle on through. I haven't podcasted in quite a while because I've been having quite a few issues, technical issues, with computers. I accidentally left a pen lid on the keyboard of my laptop and then shut it, and the screen broke, not the actual front of the screen but something behind the screen. So that was a bit of a disaster, and I had to get a new laptop. So I'm recording on the new laptop, and this is now my second webcam that I've gone through. I bought one which didn't work, and then my husband bought this one, so hopefully this will work okay. This is about my third attempt at podcasting. I've had trouble with audio, I've had trouble with lighting, I've had trouble with focusing, and I'm hoping that this will work today. So, fingers crossed. I did try at one stage podcasting using the SingStar mic from the girls' SingStar karaoke thing, and with Glee earphones on. So, and even with all that extra stuff, it still didn't work. So, fingers crossed it's going to be okay today. Okay, so I think it's looking okay. To knitting, I do have a finished object, which is my Anne and Carlos socks. However, I'm going to insert a picture now of them because I have a knitting group at the local library, and every year at Mother's Day we have a display of our knitting and crochet, and I've got a few pairs of socks and hats and a shawl in the display, one of which is my finished object, the Anna Carlos blue greeny socks. So I can't show you them today, but I will show you next time, and I'll put in a little photo. I've got plenty of works in progress. Some are going okay and some are not going okay. What shall I start with? I will show you first of all the fingerless gloves that I'm working on for my twins turn 18 at the end of this month, and so I'm doing a gift each. This is the left fingerless glove for possibly, I haven't decided which twin's going to get what yet. They're not blocked, and I'm planning on blocking it quite fiercely to make sure that it actually covers the knuckles, because I think it's a little bit short. So when I block it, there's lace on the side there, faux cable, and lace again on the thumb, and then ribbing on the inside of the hand. And when I block it, I will try and stretch it a little bit lengthways, not widthways, because it feels quite snug and nice, but that's what I've been working on for one of the twins. I have to do the right one, which I've started working on today, just this morning, and I think it'll knit up faster than the first one, because the first one I had a real issue with the thumb. And I think that the next one will be easier because I'll have a better understanding of the pattern and the stitch patterns and how to do the thumb. So that'll be good. That's in Heritage Cascade sock yarn. And I think I've shown this before, possibly, in a purple. It's a plum, actually. And I've just started the second one on DPNs this morning. And that pattern is by Linda Medina from a old Vogue knitting magazine. I have shown this magazine before because I did want to do this in a Misty Alpaca lace, which I did try to do. Oops, let me see, that's better. There they are on the front. And of course, Misty Alpaca lace was way too thin to do those, to do that pattern, I discovered. Okay, so that's one thing, a little bit started on, and this is the other present for the other twin. I haven't decided which twin's going to get what yet. I did actually plan to do the Anne and Carlos socks for one of the twins, but she then informed me that she has eczema on her toes and can't wear wool on her feet. So that sort of changed my plans somewhat. Anyway, this is the other one for the other twin. I haven't decided who'll get what. It's a cowl in the Misty Alpaca, and it's my own pattern with beads. The beads are Blue Green Iris IB in size 11, I think. And these beads I've used on numerous projects. I just cast on in the round. It's plain stocking stitch knitting, nothing terribly complicated except the beads. And I'll do another few bead rows, and then I will cast off with a stretchy cast off. And I will block it, and I'm hoping that it will stretch not too much, but enough that she can maybe get it round once or twice. I'm not really sure how many times, but it's terribly, terribly soft, and I really like knitting with this yarn. So that's coming on quite well, and hopefully those will both be they will be finished objects for the next podcast. If you can hear beeping, that's just my washing machine. I'm just avoiding putting the washing on the air today. I am wearing Bella Botanica lace shawl today in Cascade lace weight, alpaca lace. And this actually has the same beads on it as the cowl I just showed you. There are noops and beading and lace, and it's a really, really lovely, lovely triangular shawl, which I wore so much in winter last year, and I think I'll probably wear it a lot in winter this year too, because I really love the colour. Ooh, I'm having a really tragic hair day today. I love the colour, I love the yarn, I love the beads, and I love the lace. So I do wear it an awful lot. That's Bella Botanica by designer Karen Strauss. A lovely, lovely pattern to knit. So if you're looking for a nice, quite largish lace shawl to knit, this is a beautiful one. It's one of my favourites. Okay, another work in progress are my socks. I know this is really tragic. I've hardly worked on them at all since the last podcast, but I've had other things I've been working on, and I'm determined what month are we in? This May. I know I've got the secret gifts I'm working on, but I would like to finish these socks in May as well. Again, in my delphinium, I dyed this yarn myself in not sure if that's focusing terribly well, but delphinium tones and shades there, which was really, really lovely. I'm really proud of that yarn. Okay, so I think that's all my works in progress, possibly. I do plan to knit another hat, and I'm thinking it will be the Crofthus hat for Shetland Week. It's a free pattern, and I momentarily can't remember the designer. I think she designed something for it last year when the Barbel hat came out. Yes, this is week. Here it is. Found it. That's the beautiful hat with the beautiful houses on it, and it has in the pattern. It does in fact have different colourways that you can choose. It's by Ella Gordon. Crofthus hat by Ella Gordon, and that looks like a lot of fun to knit in the Shetland wool. So I will be knitting that up maybe when I've got a couple of the other projects off the needles. I got an acquisition this week. Sorry, I'm going to have to stop for a drink. I'm having just a plain old Lipton's tea today in a Colour 101 Mood Indigo cup. Very plain and simple today. I'm really feeling I need simple things at the moment. I have had quite a few weeks now of up and down unsettled times, and I've had quite a lot of pain. I mentioned in a podcast previously about having an autoimmune disease, and it has caused a lot of pain lately, so I haven't been able to do a lot. I have the autoimmune disease affects my skin, so I have yellowing on the skin around my ears and my eyes, so you might notice that in the podcast, and on my neck and chest. My skin, the autoimmune disease is affecting my blood, which is influencing my skin. So some days I'm really quite rashy, or my skin just looks odd colours. So sometimes you might notice the yellowing, and I have a lot of fluid and swelling around my eyes. The worst symptoms for me are the autoimmune arthritis symptoms. I've got quite severe arthritis in my fingers and my wrists, in my toes, feet, ankles, knees, hips, and I'm having a lot of trouble with my lower back. There's two joints there that are giving me a lot of trouble. So lately I've been having issues around mobility, either just getting out. If I can go out, some days I can't go out. I'm just too exhausted, and my joints just won't let me. And when I do go out, I have to choose where I go, and because of mobility, how can I get around if I go to the shops and that sort of thing. It's a bit of a struggle at the moment. So, and medication is a struggle, and I have a lot of appointments with. I have an immunologist, dermatologist, and hematologist, and rheumatologist, and anyway, it's all very complicated, and I will stop going on about it now. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention it, so you might notice in some of my podcasts that my skin is odd colours. That's normal for me, so don't stress. This acquisition arrived last week, which is Heritage Cascade Yarns Soft Yarn in strawberry and cream, and it's going to be a baby knit. It's looking a bit paler on there, but it's actually got quite a bit of pink through it, And my sister-in-law is pregnant and due end of September or October, which is spring for us down here, the Southern Hemisphere. And so I'm planning, I did have a few plans. First of all, I was going to do a dress, which I will show you. Then I changed my mind and I was going to do a cardigan. Then I changed my mind again and I was going to do a vest. Then I went back to the dress, and now I'm just completely undecided, not really sure what I'm going to do. This was the first one I was going to do, which is the dress with the love hearts, and that design is Judith Durrant, which this book is edited by, Lace One Skein Wonders. I've got another book by her, can't remember what it is, or this gorgeous one. In fact, every time I look at this, I think, yes. Well, I don't want to show you the pattern, but which way? That way. So just the lovely cardi with a little bow, and I would probably use slightly smaller I-cord there, or maybe a little button of some kind. Not really sure. And that pattern is by Lorna Miser. So that's my another plan I have for that acquisition. I had to buy some needles as well when I bought that yarn, DPNs, because I was working on, once I finished the Arne and Carlos yarn with my DPNs, which are just Knit Pros, simple, from Knit Picks, 2.25 millimeters, which are that's the ones I'm using on the fingerless gloves, as well as the size that I use for socks. And the twins, I don't know what they were doing. They were parting their hair and doing their hair, and they required a DPN for that, and so they used it, and now I don't know where it is, so of course I had to buy more. Anyway, now I have lots of DPNs. I was using the carbons for the fingerless gloves, but knitting the carbons, which I do love because they're really sharp and I like the size and the feel of them, I just can't knit with them on dark yarn. And the plum, as you can see, it really, you can see the stitches on there because they're silver needles, but on the carbons I just couldn't see them, even with my special light that I use. So the carbons are having a rest, and I will use them probably for really light coloured socks, probably. Okay, what else did I want to talk about? Mum and I recently went to a Knit Picks yarn tasting, which was really fun. It was held by our guild, and it was a really, really good event. We played knitting bingo and some games, and we all got given some yarn to knit with. Sorry, I know I'm going off screen. Which is, I got this simple stroll to knit with in the, do you know, it's not pearlescence, I can't remember the colourway, but it's the pale pink and white. I'm not sure if that's very visible, but anyway, there. I've just cast on in more DPNs, wooden DPNs there, baby socks. And I'm doing a grey heel, which you can't really see there, a grey heel, and I've just done the cuff, ribbed cuff, done a fish lips kiss heel, and I'm onto the foot. And I'm hoping, because that was 28 grams of yarn, just that, so I'm hoping that'll be enough to do the foot. I'll do the toe in the grey, and then I'll do the other matching sock, and that should be enough, hopefully. I did get, Mum and I got a ball each of yarn from the yarn tasting, which was fun. And I don't know where I've put them, so I can't show you, sorry. Mine was, I think, in a a thick yarn, not a worsted, but it's fairly thick, and it was in like a lavender colour, which is beautiful, and I will probably use for something, I'm not sure, because I don't usually knit in heavy yarns. I always knit in lace or fingering, sometimes sport, but generally not. Okay, what else has been going on? Let's see, I've done acquisitions. Okay, I think that's just about it. Podcasts. I do want to say thank you so much to Amy of the Periscoping Sisters. Oh, here's my little bunny. What are you doing, Bun Buns? What you doing? You busy? Do you want to say hello? No? He's off. He's doing bunny things. He's a very busy bunny. Off. Yes, so that was a bit of excitement. Bun Buns is an inside-outside bunny, so he does go outside. He's got a hutch, but it's not really cold at the moment. Well, it is. It's cold, but probably not for people who live where there's snow. But it's cold for us here. And bunnies don't mind the cold, but it's really wet and windy and yucky generally. So he's having a day inside, and he will just go and fall asleep behind the couch probably. And he's so cute. I just love him. Anyway, well, I can't remember what I was saying. Oh yes, the Periscoping Sisters. Amy and Debbie, in Skein 5 of their Periscoping Sister podcast, Amy mentioned my podcast. She mentioned me and even my bunny. So that was so exciting. I couldn't believe it. When I heard her in the podcast and she mentioned Faeryfay, it just took like a little while to process, and I was like, oh my goodness, she's talking about me. And they are like super big. Sorry, I've now got bunny fur flying around me. Yeah, like they are big podcasters in the knitting podcasting world, as I'm sure you know. They are fabulous ladies. They do amazing designs, and I just love them. So I can't thank you enough, Amy. And when I saw it, I was so excited. I let out a bit of a squeal, and my girls came running and wanted to know what was so exciting, and I explained to them what was happening, and that, you know, these podcasters who are like super famous mentioned my name and my podcast, and they were pretty excited, but I don't think they fully understood the enormity of it as I did. But that's great. Thank you so much, Amy. That was so exciting. That was great. Other podcasts I've been watching, as usual, The Grocery Girls, with Jodie and Tracy, whom I just adore. They're fabulous. Legacy Knits with Chelsea and Sue, I always watch, and they crack me up. I love Sue, and I would love to watch her on Periscope, except I only recently got Periscope, and I didn't turn off notifications straight away. And so, of course, because we're on the other side of the planet, my phone kept going off in the night to watch Sue's, I think it was at 4 a.m. or something crazy, to watch Sue's Periscope. And, of course, I was asleep, so I couldn't. But anyway, so I can watch them like recorded, like after the time. So that's good. I love Sue and Chelsea. The Fat Squirrel, Amy Beth, is my absolute favourite. Always love her. She's fabulous. If you haven't seen her, I'm sure everybody has because she's like so awesome. Watch her. I just adore her. The Lone Larch podcast with Jenny. I love her section on the trees, for the love of trees. I love trees. I love the garden. I love plants and flowers, and I adore that section. So she is fabulous. The Lone Larch Knitting podcast, or the Lone Larch Pine. Anyway, with Jenny. She is excellent. And the Knit Girls, of course. I very rarely miss an episode. They're fabulous. Absolutely and totally fabulous. I've also been watching, I think they're called Kitchen Stitching. I hope that's right. And they're a new podcast as well, and they talk about food and knitting, and they're relatively new, so give them a go. They're great as well. How could I forget? Okay, yesterday I sat down with my knitting to watch. I watched Sticks Plus Twine with Eric, and it was him getting on a plane to go overseas with his knitting, and I was watching the podcast thinking, oh, this is great, and he's got his knitting happening and everything on the plane, and he gets off the plane in London, and then he gets in a taxi, and then he goes on another train travelling, and then he gets off, and he's in London, and he meets KT from Inside 23. Oh my goodness. It was, my mind just couldn't take in the excitement for a moment that two podcasting worlds were colliding in real life. I just found that stunning. I loved it. It was fabulous. I was so excited. KT is so fabulous and excellent, and seeing Eric and KT together was just too much. I just loved it. So I watched that, and then they went shopping, and then they knitted in the gardens, and it was just beautiful. And then I watched KT's version of the same day. Absolutely fabulous. Made my day. I just loved it. Absolutely great. If you haven't seen it, just go and watch KT Inside Number 23 and Eric from and he's in Canada. Sticks Plus Twine. That was so good. Oh, another one I've just discovered is the Sockmatician. Is that it? Nathan? I think he's called the Sockmatician, Mathematician Sock. Anyway, I will put that up in the show notes. And it's the first time I've listened to him, and he was really interesting. I really enjoyed his podcast. It was really good. I got a lot out of it, so give that one a go. And of course, the knitting expat Mina Phillip, who I've just been watching this morning with all her kitty cats. That is fabulous, of course, and I'm thinking of doing her most recent shawl, the Budding Bluebells shawl, not the La Moyeux one, the most recent one. That looks beautiful. Goodness, is that it for podcasts? I think it could be. Okay, well, I had better get back to knitting. This weekend is I've got a Knit Guild meeting, which is always fun, and there is a market on in our town which is a once a year, they put on a special day called Wool Day, and they have special artists and stall holders from around the area come and sell their indie dyed yarns and some come from farms and they sell their fibres, merino or alpaca. Lots of just beautiful stalls with beautiful yarns and yarny things. So I'm hoping to go to that on the Sunday, but I've not been too well, and I really am finding the weather and my mobility status at the moment is not great, so I certainly couldn't make it walking with my stick around the market, so I'm not really sure whether I'll make it or not. But if I do go, I will be posting some shots on Instagram, so yeah, that'll be good, fingers crossed, but it's okay if I don't make it. And I think that's it. Next podcast might have Mum in it. She had a stall on last weekend and sold lots of her bags. She's got some lovely new fabrics to show me, so that will be really exciting. Okay, I think that's it for today. I've probably forgotten something, but I'll save it for next podcast. And I'm just so glad that I've managed to record today, and hopefully this will actually all work out with the new webcam and the new laptop. So fingers crossed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.